Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We're at the end, finally, of my close-up collection series to see my makeup close-up, basically. We are going to be finishing out this little series that took a year and a half. We fell off the wagon on that one. But we're going to be finishing off with the bigger palette. So any palette, I explained this in my smaller palettes video. So in that video I had, these are like all my curated palettes. In that video I did 9 shadows or less. And this is 10 shadows or more. So it doesn't matter how many shadows are actually in it once there's 10 or more. So yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at today. I'm probably not going to swatch everything. I might swatch 1 or 2 things, but I'm really not going to swatch a lot of things. If I do even, I've already filmed it and I can't even remember. But it's not for swatching, it's just to show you what's there, what's physically in my collection. So if you see anything that you want me to do another video on, I've already done a lot of videos on a lot of these anyway. Some things I haven't done any videos on, so you haven't even seen them yet. And they will be coming up soon. So yeah, that's what it's just going to be exciting. It's an exciting video. I'm excited to finish off this series as well, because once I finish this series off, it means I can start my declutter. And that's always fun. I love declutter videos. I don't know about you, but I love declutter videos. So we get to start that. And I love doing I don't do big declutters, but small declutters. Just for a refresh. Get rid of things I don't use. Get rid of things I don't want anymore. Get rid of old things that I don't really want anymore. So yeah, I am very excited. I'm excited to get into this video. Before I do get into the video, my Instagram is linked down below. We're posting all up close pictures of this look. This look is filmed, so go hit subscribe down below so you can see that. And yeah, I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm not going to say any more things. Shh, we're not going to say any more. Let's get into the big palettes. Okay guys, so we are going to get into the big palettes in my collection. This is a weirder kind of setup for me, so I'm actually like the opposite side of the camera, where I was normally like right beside the camera when I was filming it before. I just want to try this out because the other way was very awkward for me to film, and I'm going to try and see if this is a little bit easier. Feels very upside down for me right now when I'm looking at my viewfinder, so just bear with me if I can't get like the angles and things right. But this is basically all the palettes in my collection that have 10 or more shades in the palettes. A mixture of all brands, so brands I've already previously talked about in my smaller palettes, but this is the bigger one, so I have lots to get through, so I'm not going to ramble too much to get in with it. We're going to start out with the miscellaneous ones, the ones in this that I only have one of for this video. So I mean, it could be something like a Juvia's Place palette, but I only have one in this video, so I'm only going to do one, because all the other ones have 9 or less in the palette. So that's how we're going to work it. All of these I only have one of for this video, and then we'll get into palettes that I have a lot of. So let's get into this. Okay, as I've said in previous ones, I'm not going to swatch everything, so we're just going to dive straight in. I'm just going to randomly pick up as I like feel I need to. This palette here is from W7. This is Smokin' is the palette. It's basically like the dupes of the Urban Decay Naked palette, so I do have one of those as well. This is a smoky one. I'm probably going to get rid of this because I never ever use it. It was actually decluttered for my friend and I took it because I was like, oh, I love cool tones. Never used it. Just never feel the need to pick it up. I always forget I have it. So yeah, I will probably eventually declutter this when I do my declutter series. Then I have this palette here, which I think I got this in an advent calendar. I want to say I did. This is the Makeup Academy, what are you called? Cosmic Vixen palette. Beautiful color palette, but not the kind of pigmented formula that I'm used to. So again, I don't know if I want to keep this in my collection. I don't know if I want to use it. It also smells like you know, like old-fashioned makeup where it smelled like talcum powder. So not really for me, but it is a beautiful color story. Like the shimmers do look beautiful, but the mattes don't really build up the way I'd like them to. And then another palette I haven't used like ever. Have I even swatched this? No, I don't even think I've swatched this palette. So this is from Makeup Revolution. I got this in the Makeup Revolution Advent Calendar, and it's the Reloaded Fire palette. It's kind of neutral, a little bit kind of autumny, which is quite nice. Like I like this kind of color here. But again, nothing that really excites me. So again, I'll probably get rid of this eventually. But I still have it, so I'm showing you guys. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. I also just realized that this says talc free on here. Honestly, it smells like talcum powder. Next up, we've got this guy, which again, I think I got this in an advent calendar. This always happens. This is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette, and this is the Warm Neutrals. There's, what is it, 12? no, 16 shades in this palette, and just like various versions of neutral. I have actually used this a couple of times just to kind of pull in random shades. Don't use a lot of these kind of colors, so I don't really pull it out all the time, but I do think I might keep it eventually because I may use it for like freelance things like that, or I need it for. As I said, I don't have a lot of neutral palettes, so kind of should keep a few of them. Next up, I've got this one from Iconic London, and this is the, what is it called? I always forget the name. It's Day to Slay palette. It's another neutral palette. This one I'm actually a bit more interested in because there's a bit more variety, a bit more shimmer variety as well. Yeah, I think this is quite nice. I will eventually do something with this. I do have something in mind for this, like a Christmassy kind of look. I think it's very party season kind of esque for like an everyday sort of wearer. But yeah, very cute, very big though. It's very bulky for what it is. There's a lot of unused space in that palette. Then I've got this palette here from Primark. This is from Pennies. It's one of their beauty brands. I've had this years and years. I always remember this palette because it's something that I planned a full video on. Like I didn't just randomly sit down and start doing makeup. I actually planned a video with this palette. This is the Urban palette, and it's actually quite nice. It's quite nice. It's an odd colour story. Very, very odd colour story. But it's quite nice. It's not a bad formula or anything like that. I don't use it. I don't even think I've used it once since doing that video. So yeah, but it's not a bad formula, I have to say. I even have the brush off this. Jesus, that's insane. I always take the brushes out of palettes. And remember when like palettes always had brushes in it as well? Oh, I'm trying not to show my Grinch pajamas. This is the Naked, where are you? There you are. Naked 3 palette from Urban Decay. It's the more rosy toned one. I actually got this from my 2 best friends for my birthday one year when I was like really getting into makeup, and they knew I liked these kind of tones, and I do really like this palette. I think it looks way more neutral. There, can you kind of see a little bit better? It's way more rosy in real life, but it's beautiful. It's such a nice little palette, like mixture of like light and shimmers, and yeah, it's one of the better like Urban Decay palettes, definitely. Next up is this fancy boy. This, I have to keep the packaging because it's so beautiful, and also the inside is one of those fingerprinty ones, like you get lots of fingerprints on it. This is from Fenty Beauty. I got this one Christmas off my mom. It's the Galaxy palette, so it's basically all kind of like sparkles, like sparkly toppers, and what are they called, like the Dazzle shadows from MAC, or like the Urban Decay Moon Dust, that kind of finish. Yeah, really nice formula, just really, really sparkly and beautiful, and just you have a topper for every occasion. So I really, really love this palette. I don't use it too often like on camera, but I definitely use it in real life a lot more. And then lastly, for this little part here, we've got the Morphe. This is the Boss Mood palette, I think. It's basically, I got this off my friend because she was decluttering it that I used to work with, but yeah, I actually really love this. I've always wanted this palette because of these gorgeous greens mixed with these reds and purples. I always thought it was really interesting, like autumn but still colour, like there's still elements of colour in there. I have used this once to do a look, but I never got a chance to upload it, but I do still want to upload it. I have it still saved, so I will probably eventually upload that. But yeah, I just love all of these. I love the tones, like we all know I love a limey green like these, and I love all these kind of purples as well. Just a really beautiful colour story. And yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff going on with Morphe and things like that, but I mean, I have the palette, so I'm going to use it. Okay, next little section of miscellaneous ones. This is the last section, these kind of piled here. So this is the Arcana palette from Shroud, one of my favourite palettes in the whole collection. It's a beautiful grungy dream that has all these gorgeous jewel tones in it as well, and just a matte to go with each shimmer, and it's just a witchy dream. Like the looks I created with this, I was so happy with. This shade here is beautiful. This green is stunning. This is like the most beautiful murky brown, and you just have this really gorgeous texture. I don't know why, but sometimes when I look at this I see Harry Potter, so I see like Gryffindor, and then Hufflepuff, and then Slytherin, and then Ravenclaw. Like, is it just me? I can see it, but I love these colours, and I love Shroud's formula. They're definitely one of my favourite formulas in my whole collection. This is going to be a bitch to put away, by the way. Just want to let you guys know, like, getting all these palettes out and then I have to fit them all back in, and they don't all fit in my things. That's why I really want to do a declutter. They do not all fit, and I really need them to fit. Okay, next up is this palette here. I still haven't used this. I know, shut up and stop, don't give out to me. I'm sorry. This is the Coral palette from, or what is it called? The Nubian 3 Coral palette from Juvia's Place. It's stunning. So stunning. I think this is going to be such a fun palette to play with, especially it's such an odd colour story, having these like peachy corals and these like rosy browns and then grey and silver. Just very odd, but I really like it. I will use this year. I think I got this in 2021 and I was like, I'm going to use it in 2021. Then I was going to use it in 2022. I'm going to use it this year. I swear to God, it's on the list. It's coming soon. I'm going to use this palette. Like, it's been sitting in my collection for so long unused, and I love the outer packaging as well. But oh my God, I need to use this. Then we've got one of my favourite palettes in my collection. This is my Club Nebula from Kaleidos and Angelica Nyqvist. This is beautiful. It's like these dark colourful matte here. Look, see this right here? Got me. This one got me. You've got these beautiful topper shimmers, duochromes, and like this fiery peach shimmer here, this kind of grey brown, love it. Just a really nice array of colours that you can do so much with, but still gives me the elements of both Kaleidos and Angelica. I just feel like it's such a nice palette, really user friendly, really a nice way to get yourself into makeup as well. I just love it, and again, love this packaging. Next up is one that's just has my heart. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. This is the LA Splash Classic Horror palette. I keep the outer packaging on this because I love it so much. I think it's so cute. This is the actual palette packaging though, so it's all basically like pin-up style monsters, if that makes sense. I love it. And like there, look, you can see them a little bit more there. So they're all different. And it's all matte, which I don't usually go for. I do like a shimmer. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare to try and show you guys without blinding you. I'm sorry if you get blinded. I'm sorry, but that's just the way the packaging is. It's holographic. Yeah, you've got like really dark black. It wouldn't be my favorite formula in the whole world, but it's definitely like, I definitely get really beautiful looks out of it. Really weird colors like this green here, and then you've got like this weird orange, but it's not orange, it's more yellow, but then there's a yellow burgundy, and then the names. So you've got Toxic, Psycho, Madness, Curse, Blue Moon. I'm trying to read these upside down, by the way, just if I keep stalling. Zombie, Nightmare, 13, Voodoo, and Lights Out. I just love it. I love it so much. Always will always have this in my collection because I just jumped on it. And this is like one of my first like spooky themed, Halloween themed palettes in my collection. And I was like, I want more. And brands are coming out with more. Speaking of another spooky palette, this is the Lunar Beauty. It's like a book in like its own little bookcase like that. And you open it like this and look at that packaging. Oh my God, so beautiful. This is what the inside looks like. So it's not like the most grungy in the world or anything like that. I would kind of prefer some darker shades in this, but you do have gorgeous colors. Like all the shimmers are absolutely stunning. This is more of a metallic and the rest are more like textured glittery kind of colors, like this one here as well. You've got beautiful mattes. Like I would love a dark green, or just a black even would do, and like a dark purple maybe, and then I'd be very happy with this. But I love like just the tones that are in it. They're just very weird and wonderful. Each shade is named after a witch. So Prue, Piper, Phoebe, Paige, Sabrina, my fave, Winifred, Sarah, Mary, obviously, Samantha, Kiki, Hermione, Bonnie, Marnie, Nancy, and Fiona. Sorry, I had to read them all out. I was going to read one, I was going to read them all. So yeah, really love this palette. Definitely a staple in my collection. I do like to whip it out every now and again. And then next, another box that I like to keep because it's so beautiful. This is and look at this packaging. Look at this. Isn't that just the most magical looking packaging ever? Very glam. This is the Glam Light and Michaela palette, the first collab that they did. So pretty. This shocked me, like really shocked me when I swatched the shimmers. This, like when I swatched this one here, could not believe how beautiful and creamy these shimmers were. Just a beautiful array of colors. Like it's not a rainbow palette. It's not trying to fit all the colors in one. It's not a neutral with a pop of color. It's not a color with a pop of neutral. It's a bit of everything that you need. You could probably pull a rainbow out of it if you really wanted to, but I just feel like there's such a nice mix of colors and very workable tones. Like the purples all work together, the blues work together, the greens work together, the pinks work together, and they'll all work with each other because they have those elements that do work with their own colors. It goes really dark to really light, and I love it so much. I didn't get the second one because the color story wasn't as my kind of style as this one was, but if they came out with more, I would definitely have a look at them. Another big bad boy. This is the Be Perfect Carnival 3 Love Tahiti palette from Stacey Marie and Be Perfect. This is a big one, so let's try and fit this all into frame. But this is a beautiful, colourful, tropical palette. Like, you've got gorgeous greens over here. You've got a little row of neutrals just in case, and warm neutrals as well. Beautiful purples. I do wish there was like about 4, maybe 5 more shimmers in this palette, because I do like a nice even balance. I feel like I'm a bit limited with the shimmers, like a yellow shimmer, and then maybe like a gorgeous orange shimmer would be beautiful. A bright blue even, or even, you know, that kind of pink with the gold shimmers in it, like one of those kind of colours would be beautiful in this as well. But I love this palette. I think it's so pretty. Not my favourite palette in my whole collection, but I do really love it, and I love the looks I created with this palette as well. Next up is an oldie but a goodie. This one I've had a lot of fun with. This is the September Rose Slush palette, which I don't even know if September Rose is a brand anymore. This is a good rainbow palette though. This is a great one. Again, I kind of wish there was like a yellow shimmer in this as well. Maybe take out one of the orange shimmers and put in a yellow or something like that, just to give us that extra little bit of, you know, colour in there that I can work with. But you do have this kind of shimmery white, so it does still work a little bit with it. And it goes really dark down here, and there's just like, I love like the elements of neon, so you can get that really bright punch, or you can go that a little bit softer, go more pastel if you wanted to as well up here. I do have another palette that gives me those elements as well though, so, but yeah, I do wish maybe one of the purples was a little bit lighter, or one of them was like a shimmer, a different kind of shimmer, because they look very similar. Not necessarily on camera, but in real life they do. But yeah, I love this palette, have gotten great fun out of this palette, really nice looks with it as well. Now these two are brand new to my collection. I haven't used these yet at all. This one I've been waiting to get for years. This is the Lowest Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette, and it's been on my wish list for so long. But this is what it looks like here. This is the most beautiful like autumn grunge dream. You've got beautiful warm berry tones and then some gorgeous greens. This gold looks stunning. You've got a black down here. I haven't even swatched this, so I don't even know what it's like. I just have it because I really want to use it. The shimmers in it are more metallics. They're not really like sparkly toppers or duochromes or anything like that. Not that I can see anyway. They just look like classic foil shimmers, but I'm happy with that as well, because I think you're going to get some really beautiful looks out of it, really rich looking looks as well. But yeah, very excited about that. I can't give my full opinion on it because I don't know yet if I like it, so that's that one. Okay, and then we've got this guy. I mean, of course I was going to get this. I had to. This is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette, and look at that beauty. It's a gorgeous palette. Again, a little bit of a rainbow, but this is so interesting. So you have a colour for each row. So look at it this way. And you've got a light, medium, dark, a pastel, a neon, and a shimmer in that colour in a different variation. So it's not all the same colour. Like, it's pink with this kind of more rich pink, and then a burgundy, but then a berry kind of pink here, and then a pink up here. Like the greens, like this row here is like brown, orange, neon orange, and gold. Like, so beautiful. I really want to do, so the way I want to do this is do like one look with this, just like a first impressions, just picking random shades out that I want to use. And then I'm going to go row by row. Instead of like a 2 looks or 3 looks one palette, I'm going to probably do a 6 look one palette. Now, bear with me. It might not be for a while, but I kind of want to do a row and do each row in a look, but do them all a little bit different than each other. So I'm very excited about this palette. It's supposed to be one of the best formulas out there right now. So I'm so excited, and if I do love it, I'll definitely be buying more. Okay, so now we're on to not things that I only have one of. We're going to start here with some Sleek. I have the Sleek, what were they called? Eye Divine palettes. This is the Oh So Special palette here. I'm going to try, oh, hello, hi. This is like a neutral, typical bridal kind of palette. It's a great palette. I do actually have another one of these, this exact one, but a really old one in my boyfriend's house. This is like a backup. I got it in a advent calendar, or I think I actually got it in a glossy box. I might have got it in glossy box, but I don't use it that often. Not when I'm here anyway. My boyfriend's house I actually use it quite a bit, the one that I have up there, because it's up there and I do use it. I don't have a lot of makeup up in his house, just basics and a couple of palettes, but in my own collection at home, I have all my stuff. Then we got, what's this one? This one is the Del Mar palette, which is this. This is actually one of my most used, oh, there I am again. This is actually one of my most used ones for random shades, like this one, this one, this one, and the pink as well. I've just kind of pulled out random shades, and there's some shades I don't even think I've ever used. Again, I don't know if I'm going to keep a lot of these. They are very big memories for me. I know there's at least 2, I think, that I'm going to keep, definitely. What's this one? This is the original. I don't think I'm going to keep this one because this is like an all shimmer palette, metallics, really beautiful dual tones. Really foiled shimmers, beautiful, but I just don't use them. I'd rather someone just have it. I'm not doing a declutter now, by the way. This is not what we're doing here. I'm just saying I will be doing one, so eventually I will be going through them all. This one I'm going to keep, definitely. This one has big memories for me. I wore this to not my Debs, my boyfriend's Debs at the time. The Debs is basically prom here in Ireland. And I use a lot of these plummy shades, but I've used this palette so much. I love this palette. I love this colour here as well. This is a beautiful shade. I really like this. So this is one I'll definitely keep because I have a lot of memories with that one. And then this last one here is a big deal because this was the first one I got, and everyone used this and talked about this. And it was got for me for Christmas or for my birthday or something like that off my friends, and I was so excited about it. I love it. This is the Acid palette. This was not, the reason why this was such a big deal, because it was not FDA approved in America, because of the pigments that are in it. They are neon, they do glow under UV light. I have tested it, and yeah, it's an odd, weird colour palette for them, but I love them. I definitely will be keeping this. Next then we've got MAC, and I keep the box off this because it's also very beautiful. This came out with one of their collections, Christmas collections, not the one just gone, not the one before that, but 2020 I think it was. This is the actual packaging. It doesn't really match though, because the other one, it's supposed to be like a firework kind of inspired thing, and this does not look fireworky. This is the palette here. I've used it like once or twice. It's pretty, but it's not my kind of vibe. There is only 3 mattes in it, and the rest are shimmers, but they're not even like really good shimmers, you know, like a good foiled metallic or anything like that. It's not like that. So yeah, I really like the colours and the look of it, but it's not my favourite. Now we're going to get into a big favourite of mine. This is, look how dirty this is. Oh my god, Carla, please clean your makeup before you show it off. That's embarrassing. Anyway, this is the Nude Model palette. I bought this on a whim. I don't usually buy, like specifically go out of my way to buy neutral palettes, but I bought this one and I love it. I love this palette so much. I've used it so much. Like these colours here on the side get used so much. This golden mustard has been used so much. It's just a handy palette for me to have going to work. I can just throw something on, put a dark lip on with that, and I'm good to go. That's me done. Yeah, Love this palette. The formula, this is like good MAC formula as well. Really good MAC formula. Very nice. And then another one from that kind of theme. I haven't really used this too much. I've probably maybe dipped into 1 or 2 shades. This is the It's Designer palette, and it basically has some neons, it has some random kind of shimmers. It's a bit random, but it does have carbon in it, which carbon is very hard to get here right now. But yeah, I do like it. I'll probably keep it. I just don't use it that much. We are going to go to another clip. Okay, so next is 2 palettes that I got from V Cosmetics. I got this in their Halloween. Oh no, I just dug my nail into this. Anyway, this is from their Halloween mystery box from a few years ago. I have a few of their brushes from that as well. A lot of the stuff I'm not keeping from that mystery box because some things dried up on me, which I was very sad about. This is the Green Witch palette. So the Green Witch palette they had, I have like the upgraded version of it, so it has like a couple of duochromes and like extra ones in it as well. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite formula in the world. I did always want the Grimoire palette. I don't know if I do want it anymore because the formula is not my favorite in the world. But yeah, that's the Green Witch. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous green palette. I do wish it was a bit darker. I wish this one actually came out that color. It comes out more like this, but I do wish it was like really, really dark, or there was a black in here as well, just to really deepen everything up. And then I've got the Ouija palette, which is like this. The names are cool on it though, because it says Hubble Bubble, Toil and Trouble, Fire Burn and Cauldron Bubble, wishing you a happy Halloween. So it's like a sentence as opposed to like names, but they are still names. Again, not my favorite formula in the world. These 2 are the same shade, by the way, which I don't know that was supposed to happen, but I like the look of it. I think it's cool, but I don't know if I'll keep it. Next up, we've got some Colourpop for this. I've done a lot of my Colourpop in the other video because they're mostly 9-pan palettes. This one I got in their Black Friday mystery box. This is the Barbie Malibu Barbie palette from that collection. This is the palette here. It's a fun palette. It's a very Barbie looking palette. It wouldn't be my favorite thing in the whole world either, but it's cute. It's very cute and very Barbie vibes, so I love the packaging is a bit more like weighty than normal. Then my first Colourpop actual palette is the designer collection, the Disney designer, and this is, oh my god, this is another dirty palette. Wow, okay, just ignore please how dirty these palettes are. It's a neutral palette with like a bit more of like a berry leaning kind of tone to it. Really nice, really good formula. I really like the looks I did with this. It's a neutral palette. I'll probably still keep it. It's very cute. I do like it. This, on the other hand, though, I'm definitely keeping. This I hunted. I got this on the second round of release for this because I really wanted it. This is the Gather Round Sisters palette from the Hocus Pocus, the first Hocus Pocus collection. There they are. There's the gorgeous girls themselves. First rounds. They've done 3 Hocus Pocus collections. This from the first one. This is the only one I wanted. That's it. It was just this one because this is just a grungy dream. I did on Halloween just gone a 3 looks 1 palette using this, and I did basically like a Winifred, Sarah and Mary, and yeah, I love how the looks came out. I love how dark it goes over here. I love these kind of just random neutrals but still leans into the colours. Pulled over 2 brands this time because we're going to get through this. We are going to do some melts. So this is my Muerte palette. Look at how beautiful the packaging is. Probably still one of my favourite, if not my favourite melt palette from Melt. That. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, it's this. It's so deep and rich and beautiful, with the reds. It's such a good colour story, such an interesting colour story. I maybe wish there was like a red shimmer in there as well, just for the bit of red that's there. I love the looks I created with this. One of my favourite looks I've ever done on my eyes was using these reds and this shimmery green here. I did like a halo eye that was really winged out and I felt so sexy wearing it. That's what this palette gives me the vibe of, just sexy grunge. I love it. Then we've got the Rust palette, which I actually got on a whim, but kind of intentionally. So I was buying, Melt was having a sale. This was during lockdown. Melt was having a sale and I wanted to buy the Burnish gel liner and I was going to get like a liquid lipstick or something like that. And then my manager messaged me and was like, do not buy Burnish because I have the Rust Pure box that they were selling. And it has the palette in it. She was getting rid of it. She was going to sell it for 50 quid and has Burnish and 2 lipsticks in it. And she was like, I will sell that to you. And I was like, okay, so I'll buy other things. And so I bought like more liquid lipsticks. So got the Burnish gel liner And I got this for €50 and 2 lipsticks as well, because she already had it. She bought it and then someone bought it for her, so she sold the other one. But yeah, it's a really nice neutral palette. I do wish that if this light shade here was a shimmer, this would be jump up so much more in my collection, in my favorites. You've got these kind of nice mustardy yellows, and then it goes really, really, really dark down here as well. Such a beautiful color story. I do love it. But yeah, I just wish this light shade, I just don't use colors like this, so I wish this light shade was a shimmer. And then Give Me Glow. I always have a Give Me Glow palette every year. Two of these, this one and this one, I haven't used yet. This is the Vivid Rose. So they have the Vintage Rose, which I was interested in, but I seen this come out and I was like, oh no, this is a bit more of me. You've got a bit more of a pop of colour in this, like with these purples and these pinks as well, but it does go down really dark down this end here, and a bit more of that like antique look to the eye as well. I do kind of wish maybe this shade here was a shimmer, or I don't know, was like this in a shimmer. Something along those lines, because I don't really use colours like that, and it's very similar to this one, and I'd use this one more than I would this one, because this one will actually show up on my skin. This one probably won't. Yeah, that's the only thing about this, but yeah, I cannot wait to use it. This looks like the really, really good Give Me Glow shimmer formula. They always have really good shimmer formulas, but just the really good one. The one like the silver in the Christmas Morning palette. That's the one I'm talking about. Then this literally arrived not that long ago. This is the Haunted Pumpkin. This released Black Friday. They announced it on Halloween, and I bought it straight away because I had to. Like, the packaging is stunning. Like, look at it. It's like a spooky woods with monsters and bats and pumpkins, and I love it. And then the inside actually matches the outside, so it's just like a really interesting Halloween, autumn, harvest kind of palette. Goes nice and dark. You've got 3 shimmers. Maybe I would have liked one more shimmer, but I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to be able to create with this just yet. I do have ideas though. I just feel like this is so cute, and a little pumpkin embossing on it. It's so cute. I'm so excited to use it. And this also has a bit of heft to it as well. And then another spooky palette from Give Me Glow. This is the Bad Witch Club palette. This is beautiful. Love this. I did a look with these 3 shades here, 4 shades, sorry, these 4 shades here, the Periwinkle and the Peach. One of my favourite shades, one of my favourite looks I've ever done in my whole collection. I love the richness of all these colours, like they're just really vibrant shades. They do go quite dark if you want them to, and then the shimmers, I do probably wish this was a shimmer, like a peach, or like this colour but in a shimmer for this one instead, just because I don't really use that shade anymore. But yeah, love that palette. Next up then is 2 that I have not used yet at all. They're coming up though. This one's actually coming up first. This is, okay, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. This is the Nomad Cosmetics Fête de Provence. If you're French, tell me how to pronounce that, because I don't know how. This is what it looks like here. This one, I don't know why I find this so interesting. I think it's just the mix of like the yellow with the purple and this like violet grey kind of shade. I love it. You've got 1 row of shimmers, which is beautiful, and then darker kind of mattes and then lighter kind of mattes, and I think that is really nice. That's a really nice balance. You have a little bit of everything to work with everything. And yeah, I'm very excited to get into some looks. This is very like springtime, just looks basically out of it. I think it's so beautiful. I cannot wait to create some looks out of it. And the reason I ordered that palette is because I wanted this one. This is the Haunted Europe palette, and this kind of has one of those like where it changes. If you can see that. I don't know what it's called. It's, you know, one of those. Yeah. Anyway, this is a little bit of a bigger palette. There's a bit more shades in this one, but that's how it looks there. It's really grungy and autumn, but Halloween and a little bit spooky, because you've got your greens and your oranges on this side, but you've got your more kind of plummy, burgundy, dark kind of shades on the other side. I'm very excited about the shimmers. I love the embossing. So there's like a haunted house, there's coffins. What else have we got? Gravestones, branches, I think, bats, spider webs, just very, very cute, and I cannot wait to use this. I know it's probably discontinued at this point, but I'm still very, very excited to actually get into using this. We're making progress, guys. Don't worry. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're over the hill. We're over the hill. So we're going to get into some Huda Beauty and some BH Cosmetics. Let's start with BH Cosmetics. This palette, I've never done a video on because I just ordered it and then I just brought it away with me one time. This is the Take Me to Ibiza palette. And it is just one of those big palettes, like the real old style palettes. It's a really nice, cute little palette. I do like having it on holidays with me. I love this kind of yellowy sort of row, and then you've got like a row of neutrals, but you still have elements of neutral everywhere. There's like pinks, there's reds, there's blue, and then you've got like some neutrals, like your basic kind of shades, like your light shimmer, your kind of neutral colors there as well. It's not the best formula, it's definitely not compared to this formula, but it's handy. It's a nice one to have on holidays with me, where if it did break, I wouldn't really mind, but I wouldn't bring any of my really good palettes away with me. Then we've got the Blueberry Muffin palette, and this is another one of these holographic ones that I'm going to hate showing you guys. I'm so sorry. But this is like a dark neutral with blue. Not a pop of blue, it's blue. It's a blue palette with dark neutrals, and it's so fun, so odd, just such a weird colour story, but I love it. You've got some neutral shimmers, some blue shimmers, so you can kind of mix and match, but they do work together. I don't know how, but they just do. I did on most of these palettes, not every single one of them. If you're curious, just search it on my channel. If I've done a video on it, just type in a first impressions or a 3 looks on palette and they'll pop up for you. Then we've got Huda Beauty. So this is the Mercury Retrograde palette. I really wanted this for ages, and I eventually got it. It kind of leans into the pastel. I probably would have liked one more dark shade, like a dark bluey kind of colour or something like that. I really loved the looks I created with this. I created some pretty looks with this, I have to say. You've got these gorgeous shimmers. This shade is so textured and beautiful, and same with this one. It's almost like a glitter, but it's not. It's still a shadow. The metallics in it are beautiful. The mattes in it are beautiful. They're a softer blend of a matte, not really like melt where they are really like heavily pigmented and then you have to try and blend them out, where this is like you build it really well. But yeah, love that palette. Then I've got the Desert Dusk palette, which I also wanted for ages, and I love this palette. The amount of times I've brought this out, or I bring it on holidays with me a lot as well, because it just has a little bit of everything. There's a bit of colour in it for when I do want a bit of colour. I don't usually wear that much makeup when I'm on holidays, but I do like to have the option to do so. And yeah, the shimmers in it are gorgeous, like this metallic. If you do have a pressed glitter, which I'm not always a fan of, but this one I actually really like. I loved it in the look that I did with it. Yeah, I love this. I think it's so pretty. Now we're on to some Odin's Eye. We've got a good few here. I do have more that are the smaller ones, but that was in the other video. We're going to kick it off with the Hella palette. So that's the outer casing, which I am keeping because I love it. And then you've got the colourful side. It's basically inspired by the Life and Death. And it's Odin's Eye and Angelica Nyquist, and it's a gorgeous, mostly green palette, green leaning palette with pops of pink and pops of like dark grungy purples. Very cute. Love it so much. Love the looks I created with it. I love that bottom row for the grunge in it as well, and then you've got some limey greens up top, which is always a favourite of mine. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed using it as well. And another collab for Odin's Eye. This is the Giant Wolves palette from Annette's Makeup Corner and Odin's Eye, obviously. This is another grungy dream with little bits of colour in it as well. This gives me a reminiscence of the Kaleidos Club Nebula palette. I do prefer the Club Nebula palette more though, but it does have the elements to it that gives me those kind of vibes. The shimmers in it are gorgeous. I love how my looks came out that I created with this. I love how dark it goes. I love the multi-chrome and duochromes in it as well. I think it's so beautiful, and I love Annette as well. Plus it's the one with dogs on it, because wolves are dogs and I love dogs. Then a palette that I haven't used yet. This is, well, technically when I'm filming this I have used it, I just haven't posted it yet, but you haven't seen me use it, so technically I haven't used it yet. This is the Norns palette. I love this palette. It's so weird, and I don't know what it is that really grabs me about it. I do wish there was maybe 1 or 2 more mattes. Like I wish instead of this red there was a matte red, because this is one of those like hard pressed metallics, which I'm not actually much of a fan of. The rest of the shimmers in this palette are so beautiful. This is so sparkly. This green is magical. This is so sparkly, and these are all duochromes down the bottom here as well. Really love the looks I created with this as well. I created a really nice one with these kind of grey sort of tones, and then the red as well. So I loved it. I really love this palette so much. And then my last Odin's Eye palette, this is the Alva 2. No, just the Alva palette, the neutral. I do love this as well. I used this for the first time last year. I love, my favourite part of it is this like golden yellow side to it here. I love that in a palette. It's variations of like rosy, browns, neutrals, mauvey kind of tones with those shimmers as well. But the shimmers, they look similar. Like these 3 all look very similar, but they are different, very different when they're swatched out. Again, go check out my first impressions of this to see any swatches you want to see of it. And then 2 palettes that are very close to my heart that you're probably sick of hearing me talk about. we've got Glaminatrix. So we're going to start with the Glamorous palette because this is the one that's really close to my heart. This one here is my first ever palette that I got in PR, so it's always going to have a special place. I will never get rid of this palette. This is so pretty, so vibrant and rich, and just these colours together. Like, I love a teal and a purpley pink. Love that colour combo together. This shade Dreamy is gorgeous. This is one of the most metallic shades ever. As I've said in lots of videos, I like my darkest shade to be matte and my lightest shade to be a shimmer. That's the way I like the formula of my palettes to be, and then you can kind of add whatever you want to it then. But once I have those two elements, then it's a really usable palette for me, which is what this one is. And I just love it. I love this green as well. I just think it's such a beautiful palette. Love, love, love it. And then her grungy sister, the Nocturnal. This baby is my favourite Glaminatrix palette. Absolutely. Definitely. Like, look at her. Again, this is a black. That one in the dark shade in the Glamorous palette is actually more of a plum. This is black, and then my lighter shade here is this kind of pink to blue duochrome. You've got gorgeous duochromes. This shade here is so weird and interesting. It just looks bronzy, but it actually kind of shifts to like a pink, and then there's a little bit of like a greeny gold in it as well. You've got your lime greens here as well. I just love the looks with this palette. I think I get such pretty looks with this palette. It's so, so beautiful. One of my favourites, and it is my favourite Glaminatrix palette. Almost there, guys. 2 more brands. Just 2 more. We can do it. So we've got some Ace Beauté. Let's go through it. The Paletopoly palette. So this basically is like a board game. It's basically palette bingo, but in a game. So you have like a sheet of paper with like your crease and your lid and your lower lash and your inner corner and your upper crease. And then you pick it. You do like a matching game with cards, and it picks out all your shades basically for you, and it's fun. I really want to play it with some friends and see like how, and then create the looks as well, because I think that'd be really fun if you were like having like a sleepover, or you were just playing with makeup, or like what me and my friends used to do is we have girly days, so we'd literally sit and just mess with each other's makeup. But love the colours. Like, aside from the game, I love the colours. I love this kind of grungy row down the middle. You've got gorgeous greens. The shimmers are beautiful. This is the newer Ace Beauté formula, because I do have the older one here, and I love this formula. The mattes are beautiful. I've only used it once, but I really want to do another kind of look with it. And the first time I used it, I did play the game with it. Next time I use it, I'm probably going to do 2 looks and then just do my own kind of thing with it, just to see what else I can do with it, because you're not always going to play the game. Do you know that kind of? You're not. And if anyone is of the early 2000s, you just lost the game. I'm sorry. And then we've got the Flare palette. I've wanted this for so long, but I am kind of sad I didn't wait until they reformulated. I didn't know they were going to reformulate, but they did soon after I bought this palette. This is the older formula. The mattes are not that buildable. That's what's kind of wrong with it, which is why I feel like some people complain about these. I think with a stickier base it might work a bit better, so I do want to try it again with a stickier base. The shimmers are stunning. I do wish there was maybe one more shimmer. Like, I kind of wish keep this but add a shimmer this colour into it, and it'd be so fun. Yeah, I do like it, but I just wish I waited. I wish I waited. And the last brand we're going to go through, which I didn't actually realise I had this many palettes from this brand. This is the Beauty Bay brand. We're going to start here because this one you've not seen, because I got it in the Beauty Bay mystery box. This is the one that they did with Nikki Tutorials. What's it called? But anyway, it opens up here, so it's kind of like your light and your dark side, and it opens up in the middle here like this. And ooh, let me try and not blind you guys. So it's fun. I think the shimmers look absolutely stunning, and I do really like the Beauty Bay formula, so I'm very interested in it. I just think the mattes are a bit random, just a tiny bit random. I think the shimmers are going to be stunning though, so I will probably do something with it, even if it's just like a get ready with me using this palette or something like that. I might not do dedicated videos to it because I don't think you can get it anymore, but I do want to use it. I want to get used to it. I love the look of that red in the middle. I think that's going to be so beautiful. Then we've got their first ever collab. This was, and before there was Made by Mitchell, there was the Me, Myself and Mitchell. And this, I lusted after this palette. So this is actually like a 2-sided palette like this, and in the middle is a mirror that actually pulls out, so you don't have to keep flipping sides, and it looks like this. Isn't that beautiful? Like, isn't that a little bit of everything that you'd ever want? Like, you've got blacks. It's very messy because I do use this a lot, especially if I want to do a face shirt or something like that, because I have a bit of everything in it. You've got gorgeous shimmers. I would have liked maybe one more shimmer on this side in particular, but gorgeous shimmers, gorgeous mattes, light to dark. You've got cool tones, warm tones, and a mix and match in between. Yeah, one of my favourite palettes in my whole collection. Absolutely. I just don't use it because you can't get it anymore. And I did do a 4 looks, one palette using this. Then we got this one, which I did get in that same mystery box. That the Beauty Pay mystery box was really good, by the way. This is the Fiery palette, which is the warm neutrals. I would never go for this myself, but because I like that formula and I love Beauty Bay, I'm interested to see if I do actually like this. So I will at least use it for the content and then see if I still want to keep it if I do after that. So yeah, I really like it. I think it goes nice and light again, dark shade, light shades, shimmer, matte, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's going to be a nice palette to use. I'll give it a go. We'll give it a go and see what happens. Right, which side will we start on? Let's go for this side. So this one here, the 20 pan palettes like these ones, these are the best formula from Beauty Bay. 100%, absolutely. This is the Book of Magic palette, and they did have the Age of Opulence, I think was the one after that, which was kind of similar vibe to this sort of one. So if you didn't get that, if you didn't get this, get that one. I don't know if they still do that one though anymore. I just get very addicted to these and I want to collect them all, but I have stopped myself. So this one here, again, I wish this was a shimmer or, I don't know, something different, because I just don't use that shade anymore. But the rest is stunning. The shimmers are beautiful. They're so creamy, very much like the Glam Light ones. The mattes are beautiful, really dark, really rich. Again, I love the looks I created with this. You've got some duochromes, you've got some just standard metallics, really textured shades. I love this palette. Then we've got the new Romantic palette, which came out around Valentine's Day, and it's more romantic. It's more red. Again, I wish this was a shimmer or something different, or like this in a matte, or I don't know, something else, or like this in a matte even. But yeah, really like that. There is another black, so you don't necessarily need both blacks. But anyway, love this kind of colour story as well. Very rich, very rosy, and I really like that as well. Then we've got Wilderness, which I think is probably my favourite so far, because we haven't actually used this one yet. Because it's a bit more grungy, there's a bit more colour to it, there's a bit more of a variety in it. You've got your gorgeous greens. This shimmer is beautiful. Same with this one here as well, and this one actually. The reds, the blue, it just gives me these kind of different elements that I can pull together and create really nice looks with. And then lastly for this video, we have got the Dark Fantasy palette, which I haven't used yet, and I cannot wait. There's loads of shimmers in this one, and it's this guy here. This gives me very like Matrix vibes, and I don't know why. But anyway, you've got greens again, the shimmers, beautiful. I'm very excited to get into this. I think I'm going to get really gorgeous dark looks with this. Cannot wait to use this palette. Matte white I don't use, so I would have preferred something different, like this color metallic obviously. But yeah, really cannot wait to use this palette. It's definitely on the list. It's currently still available on their site, I know that for a fact, but even if it gets discontinued, I'm still going to be doing videos on it, so don't worry. All right, that is it. That is our big palettes, and that's the end. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited to finally finish this series, because it's been going on for 2 years of my close-up collection. Now I've since added loads of things since filming, like the beginning parts, like the lipsticks and things like that, but I will be doing a declutter next, so I wanted to get this done before I did a declutter. I will be doing a declutter. I will be filming my declutter. I won't be going super hardcore the way a lot of people do, because I do like most of the things in my collection. It's just some things I just don't use anymore, but I will be doing that eventually. I cannot believe I'm finished this. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, that is it. Let's get back to past Carla and see how she wants to finish out the video. Okay guys, so that was it. That is the end of our close-up collection and the big palettes. It's all the palettes, that's everything done. Anything that is not in any of these videos has been bought after said videos, so you didn't really miss anything when the video came out, basically. So I am so excited for this series, and I'm so excited to finish it off now, and then we can move on to the declutter. We may do it again in the future, who knows, but you get to see it again a little bit in my declutter anyway, so I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning. But in my declutter, I am going to feature complexion. So we're going to do like skin and primer, and we're going to do concealers and powders, because that's how I have them grouped. We're going to do pencils, lip pencils, eye pencils, but that'll probably be one video together. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. So let me know down below what you think. Let me know what you want to see in future videos out of the palettes, what your favorite palette is, what palettes you have that I have. I want to know it all down below. Give me as much info as possible in the comments below. If you did like this video, give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easiest way to give me a little bit of support, get me around to more people, and also let me know that you liked the video, and I will continue to do many more. Also, don't forget to subscribe down below to see many more videos coming up. I'm excited to see more videos, to see more weird things happen on my channel. I've lots of plans for the year, so we'll see what happens. So hit subscribe down below to see all that. And as I said in the beginning, my Instagram is linked down below, where I post all my up close eye pictures, full face pictures, and all that fun stuff. There's some fun stuff on my channel, as on my stories as well, and also my TikTok is down below as well, where you get to see a little bit more content from me. So I think that's everything from me, guys. It's been a long video, so I will see you in the next one.